It's flashing.
We're on. No, we're
flashing.
good. It's good.
It's on. Okay.
It's on.
Hi, it's the Tightwad sister Sharon and Rosie, and we did not go to the movies because we have Netflix. We're going to give you 2 reviews tonight, both Netflix. The first one, the
I
two
prefer
popes.
the movies, just to say so, but, you know, what are you going to do?
We were going to go last night, but
There wasn't really anything out. That was the thing.
our road was flooded last night, so we couldn't get out. So we end up just. We were going to give you 3 tonight, but we're going to give you 2. So let's do the first one, the 2 popes. Starts out in 2000 and let me give these dates right. 2005, following the death of Pope John Paul II, and Pope Benedict takes over. He takes the name Benedict. It's played by Anthony Hopkins. John Price plays Pope Francis, our current Pope. But back in 2012, everybody knows this though, if you're Catholic, you know, 1 billion people in the world are Catholic.
I didn't know it.
You didn't know this? How this all went down? You remember how it went down?
No, I had no idea.
Okay, so
It's not the same.
Pope Francis from Argentina, he was a cardinal in Argentina, or an archbishop, whatever he was. When you retire as a cardinal or an archbishop, whatever, you have to go to the Vatican. You have to ask permission of the Pope.
Well, wait a minute. You don't retire. You're not allowed to.
No. The cardinals or the archbishops, they can retire.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Pope.
No. So he gets a plane ticket.
Oh, yes, him.
He's going to Rome. He's going to ask Pope Benedict if he could retire. Anthony Hopkins. So when he gets there, he tells him he can't retire. And he's like, you can't.
Well, he starts studying them more. You don't tell him right off the bat.
Well, yeah, they talk a little bit, and he says, I've decided that you can't retire. And he's like, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you I'm going to retire. Not in this kind of language. They talk, you know.
He starts spending time with them to see who
80% of the movie is them two talking to each other.
It is.
Absolutely, like verbal tennis playing, back and forth,
That's all it was.
The 2 actors were phenomenal.
Sensational.
They were both sensational. They were both up for Golden Globes, and most likely they're going to be up for Academy Awards.
Have you ever seen a movie where Anthony Hopkins is not ridiculously good?
No.
Never.
Even in a dumb role, he's good.
Even with Thor, you would think, you know, he was phenomenal in Thor. I mean, come on. I mean, you know, who could be phenomenal in those kind of movies? I mean, I love those movies, you know I do, very entertaining. But who could be phenomenal? Like you're like, he should be nominated for an Academy Award. You know, for Thor, all right? He was awesome.
I don't think you're giving him the true appreciation of the hat.
I'm sorry.
The true appreciation of the hat. It's this big. It's 2 feet tall.
I made this hat.
She makes everything. She cracks me up. She makes everything. So here's the movie. 80%, like I said, of them talking back and forth. And Benedict, he had a couple with Pope Benedict at the time. Pope Benedict. He didn't want to be Pope anymore. And when he told this to Francis, he was like, no. You just don't quit.
You can't do this.
No one has quit being the Pope in over 600 years. You just can't do it. And he said he was doing it.
A long time ago.
600 years it was.
Was it 1,200?
No, 600 years.
Something like that.
So he said, I'm going to quit. And he's like, you're not going to quit. You can't quit. You're not allowed to quit. So that was all part of it too. They had 2 different, okay, let me say about Pope Benedict. He had some health issues for starters. He confessed that he did have some health issues. But a big thing that weighed on him was the miscarriage of the way he handled the sex abuse. He bounced all the priests around. He knew he did. And now it was all coming to a climax like 5 or 6 or 7 years ago.
Was this in the movie? Because
I
was sleeping?
You were probably sleeping.
There is times when it's very... Well, I really started to catch on.
At the end?
Well, hold on. I'm going to say when it became interesting. So I'm going to say probably about a little more than halfway through the movie.
You didn't like the first half?
I don't remember.
It was a little slow. You were sleeping, weren't you?
I was. I was dozing. I'm sorry. Listen.
I don't know how I can keep
Here's
going
a
to the
good
movies
thing.
with someone who sleeps through it. How can you give your opinion if you're sleeping?
I've just been diagnosed with sleep apnea.
Oh, now I got a medical reason.
So I'm thinking all these times.
Now we have justification
I know what's
for
happening.
me banging her with my elbow the whole movie.
Well, they were boring too. But yeah, halfway through the movie, then it started to get good. Then I started to catch on to the beginning was you know, all this stuff. Then their relationship, and the halfway through, if they met and sat and
They were
talked.
two actors at their absolute best.
Absolutely.
They held your
So
attention.
good.
They were so incredibly, like they transformed
Anthony
into these guys.
Hopkins was ridiculous, and so was the other guy. What's his name?
Jonathan Payne.
Price.
Jonathan Price. You
He-
saw him in a million things. When you see him, you know who he is. They
So
looked
bottom line
exactly
is-
like them, didn't they?
Oh my God, they looked exactly
They looked
like him.
exactly like them.
So bottom line is, so Pope Benedict tells him that he doesn't want to be Pope anymore, and he's like, no.
Says,
But
"You're
then
gonna
he
be the
tells
new
him,
Pope."
I'm choosing you, and he was like, no,
No, not me.
I
I'm
can't
not.
do this. But
I want to retire.
during the
I'm outta
times
here.
he shows him, and it's going in and out of the life of what's the other Pope's name?
Francis.
Francis. What he did. What an
They were
unbelievable
polar
human being.
opposites in the way that they
Uh-huh.
said Benedict was in an ivory tower. He never was down with the people. He stayed contained in his own world. He was a cleric his entire life. He never lived among
Where the
people.
other one was always with the people.
Francis, when he was in Argentina, when he was in South America, he wouldn't even stay in the well, I
Nope.
guess the big. He stayed in like a hotel, like
And
not a
he
hotel, like an
carried
apartment building.
He carried that into the Pope.
He wouldn't
Being
take the
Pope.
car. He wouldn't take the money. He
Nope.
walked in the
He
streets.
wouldn't do anything. He was
He
awesome.
talked to everybody. He was absolutely a hands-on Pope.
Okay, it's 6 minutes, so I'm not
Okay,
making
we're not
this
going to
10.
make these long.
Let's vote on this movie. As far as this movie and what it is,
I'm giving it 4
I am too.
because I thought their acting was flawless.
Unbelievable.
It was flawless.
And I'll tell you what, the story is really, really interesting. It really is.
It's a huge part of the Catholic Church history.
And the
I mean,
ending-
this don't happen. Popes don't quit, and new popes don't. They don't pick the next pope. It's not how it works. The smoke and the power and the.
Now, that's sensational. Where do you see it? It's
They
amazing.
show how they pick a pope. They
It's
start in the
amazing.
beginning how they picked Pope John Paul when he died,
Well,
and
if
how they
you're a
picked
Roman
him.
Catholic, as we are, you can really, appreciate it. I really never really knew. I mean, I knew, but this movie showed
When
me
it's
a lot
time to get
more
a
than I
pope, they
didn't
come
know.
from all over the world. They stay sequestered. They stay inside. They talk. They vote. And
Not
then when
this
the white
pope.
smoke comes
Yeah.
out of the Vatican, they know there was a pope. And then this just changed
And
the
it
whole
took
world.
them how long to decide he was? Almost instantaneously.
Yeah, when he talked to him, he was his second in line. He was his biggest adversary at the time because they have different ways of governing. But Pope Francis was supposed to rejuvenate the church, and he did. The first year he was in, like he was all over everywhere.
It was all over everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, we got to go. 8 minutes. We're going to go.
It's
We'll be
on
back.
Netflix. You got to watch it on Netflix.
Watch it. I mean,
You got to
it's
watch
good.
it.
Okay?
It's a part of history.
Is it?
And even if you're not Catholic, it's interesting to see the process. But if you're Catholic, you really have
You're
to watch
really
it.
going to like it.
You
All right,
really
I got to go
gonna
because my I think this is called I looked it up. I can't remember.
What, your hat's falling off?
A Judy. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry.
It's a big ass hat. That's what it is.
Don't say that. It's a sacrilege. No, it's called
It's a sacrilege.
it's
I'm
called
sorry, God.
Chichitty. Something. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure chichitti's not the right word.
Somebody tell me what it is. All right. Thank you so much for watching.
Okay, we're going to come back with another one.
Gotta
give
go.
Us, give us
we're
a
going to
few
come
minutes.
back with
Dolomite is my name. Eddie Murphy. Stars in
Okay.
it.
All right. Bye. Gotta go.
Give us a few minutes.